rosters to make sure they match, that there's no one missing. That's all I didn't do. Live from the CSI Soccer Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents exclusive CSI Dolphins women's soccer coverage. Today's matchup features the Cardinals of York College taking on the College of Staten Island. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joe Foreman, joined by Mike Babelski, bringing you all the action live from midfield during today's game. And Mike, the Dolphins come in with a record of 2-3, York with a record of 0-5. York, a team the Dolphins have historically played extremely well against. CSI looking to get even in the win column with their total losses. As I mentioned, they are 2-3. They're coming off of a 9-0 win over the Medgar Evers College Cougars. What are you looking for from the Dolphins today coming off of that matchup against Medgar Evers?
Well, you know, the history of these two teams tells us, Joe, that the Dolphins are coming in, you know, really with a much stronger lineup. And, you know, the Dolphins have won all 10 of their previous matches. And, you know, we've seen little out of either of these teams this year to make us think that the result here this afternoon is going to be any different.
Well, historically, as you just mentioned, the Dolphins have fared very well against York College and against the CUNYAC. Overall, of course, they are the four-time repeating CUNYAC champions, will not be eligible for postseason play each of the next 3 years as they transition into NCAA Division II. You also referenced the history between these two teams. It has been all Dolphins, a 10-0 mark for the College of Staten Island against York all time for the CSI Dolphins. So we're about to get underway here from the CSI Soccer Complex. The starting lineups are being introduced, and Mike, you have those starting lineups for both sides, beginning first with the visiting Cardinals of York College.
Thanks a lot, Joe. As you mentioned, York coming in with a record of 0-5, still looking for their first goal in 2019, and here's their starting lineup. Number 1, Chelsea Vasquez will be in goal. The remainder of the starters, number 4, Elodie Dorville, number 7, Taylor Belmont, number 9, Mary Cuevas, number 11, Diamond Jackson, number 13, Abani Osborne, number 14, Mary Mashansky, number 16, Damata Usman, number 17, Giselle Flores Barajas, number 18, Geraldine Geis, and number 19, Wendy Valere. For the College of Staten Island, Samantha Boudreau in goal again, Joe. I was wondering if she would start here this afternoon against York College, but she will make her 6th consecutive start for the Dolphins. The remainder of that starting lineup, number 4, Caitlin Askew, number 5, Rebecca DeLoya, number 8, Namina Bracic, number 10, Dani Duca, number 13, Lisbeth Aparicio, number 19, Amber Mitchell, number 21, Samantha Lavalier, number 24, Masade Palinkovic, and number 28, Jorgen Yagos. The Dolphins, of course, coached, Joe, by second-year head coach Brittany Caceres.
And for the Dolphins, they come in having recently snapped a 3-game losing streak. They started the year with a record of 1-3. As I mentioned before, that losing streak was snapped in their last game against the Medgar Evers College Cougars. In that matchup, Amber Mitchell, the Dolphins' freshman forward, registered a hat trick for the College of Staten Island, helping her take home CUNYAC Rookie of the Week honors. She's the second Dolphin to receive that recognition this year, with the other being Jordan Yagos earlier in 2019. And once again, it is Samantha Laval with a share of the team lead in goals alongside Amber Mitchell, who with her 3 goals is now tied with Laval atop CSI scoring ranks, both of them with 4 goals. Mersada Polinkovic and Jordan Yagos with a pair of goals as well. But Mike, this Dolphins team off to a pretty good start this season despite the 2-3 record. They won their first match of the year at home against Division II Penn College, a 3-2 victory. Hiccups against Ramapo and William Patterson. In that game against William Patterson, the Dolphins were competitive through the first half, but late in that first half, the Pioneers picked up a goal that really set the tone for the rest of that game. And then easily our most entertaining match of the season back on September 18th, 1 week ago, the Dolphins and the Clippers of Concordia College, New York, playing to a 4-3 game. Clippers took that win, but the Dolphins battled back from a 2-0 deficit in what was an entertaining game from start to finish. So entertaining games have been the norm on Sportsnet throughout this year. I've said it many times. This, of course, the second of a pair today. The first game, not all that entertaining beyond the first few minutes as the Dolphins really put that one away against the Cougars early. We'll hope for a shift in that for this second game of our doubleheader, though history indicates we should expect otherwise.
Yeah, and you know, Joe, you mentioned the men's team coming up with a big victory in that first game here this afternoon, and you know, it was a nice win for the men. Medgar Evers, you know, traditionally has come out with a very athletic team, and you know, they're the kind of team that if you could get in front of them early, you know, usually you're able to have a pretty good game against them. And you know, the Dolphins were able to do that here this afternoon, and you know, cruise to a nice victory. So a nice win for the Dolphins in game 1 of the matinee. And again, here in game number 2, Joe, you mentioned the Dolphins coming into this game playing pretty well, and you know, absolutely right. Team continues to develop. 11 freshman players on this roster, Joe. So a lot of developing being done in the second year of Brittany Caceres' job as head coach.
And I mentioned it during the men's game as well, Mike. The freshman players on these two teams will be the players who are on these Dolphins rosters, hopefully, when they are eligible to play in the postseason once again 3 years from now, but a long way to go until we reach that point. We may get a look at some of those freshman players in this matchup with the Cardinals, and as I said before, if history is any indication, we may see some of those players sooner rather than later. If you're the Cardinals, what can you do to make this a game?
Well, you know, again, if you see that you're coming off of a 1-0 loss against Lehman College, by far their best performance in 2019, and you know, that's really what you got to do first, Joe. You got to prevent goals from being scored, and if you can do that, you give yourself an opportunity to possibly capitalize on a mistake. But if the Dolphins are able to come out, get off to a quick start, get an early goal or two, it makes things very tough for the visiting Cardinals.
Season high, 8 shots in that game. Season high, 6 shots on goal. Season high, 5 corner kicks for York College against the Lehman College Lightning, and that's a good place to start in this matchup with the Dolphins. CSI on the season outscoring the opposition 17-14. They've taken 83 shots while allowing only 58. So the Dolphins have had an advantage on the attack with both shots taken and opportunities converted into goals. And if they are able to maintain that sort of disparity in their favor through this game, they should put themselves in a good position to hopefully for them decide this one early. And as I said before, if history is our indicator, the Dolphins should be able to do just that, but we will see what happens. As we're about set to get underway from the CSI Soccer Complex, Dolphins and Cardinals in this game 2 of our men's and women's soccer doubleheader. The men defeated the Medgar Evers College Cougars by a final score of 8-0 just a short while ago.
Yeah, you know, like you mentioned, I know it's a game.
First goal ever scored by York College against CSI, and what may be their final chance against the Dolphins, as I mentioned before. See if the Dolphins can get one back as the Cardinals look to work this out of their own defensive zone and promptly turn it over. Aparicio up to Polinkovic. Polinkovic moving in toward the box, sends one across for Bracic. Bracic knocks it down, and a handball is the call.
Yeah, you know, that time the ball bounced up a little bit, and we got the handball call on the Dolphins, so a free kick for the Cardinals. And, you know, Joe, when you get the first goal of the game, it makes everything completely different. And, you know, if I'm the Cardinals right now, you could really concentrate on playing defense and force the Dolphins to break through. So let's see how the Dolphins handle the challenge of falling behind 1-0 early.
Well, we mentioned how successful the Dolphins have been against the Cardinals, but a number that sums it up pretty well. All-time scoring between the two sides, 70-0 in favor of the College of Staten Island until that last goal. So The danger, of course, Mike, as you just mentioned, too, getting that first goal, it opens up the opportunity for the Cardinals to just park the bus and try and nurse that 1-0 lead all the way to the finish. Certainly easier said than done, but you have to think that's what they'll be looking to do until the Dolphins get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and, they did a nice job in their last game on the defensive end against Lehman College, allowing just a single goal in their 1-0 loss.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a much better shot by Giselle Flores-Barajas as well, not to be lost in the historical impact of that goal. As here comes Mitchell, and she's tackled. It winds up near the foot of Laval, and Laval was able to put it past the keeper and in. So the Dolphins get even early on the goal by Samantha Laval.
Yeah, so Samantha Laval is going to pick up her 5th goal of the year, Joe, and regain the team lead in goals as Dolphins storm back immediately and tie the game up at 1.
Well, not an easy save there for Chelsea Vasquez, as initially Mitchell was dispossessed on the tackle attempt by Mary Mashansky at the top of the box. The ball trickled away, rolled in front of Laval. Another Cardinal was there trying to meet her at the ball, but apparently did not get there in time, as I wasn't certain Laval was going to be able to get a foot on it. I thought maybe the Cardinals might be able to knock it away. They failed to do so. Dolphins quickly even 1-1.
Yeah, the Dolphins coming right back and picking up the tying goal within about 3 minutes or so. And, and now I think going to look to turn up the pressure a little bit on that Cardinal defense.
Well, we will see if the Cardinals have a response of their own. The Dolphins certainly wasted no time getting up on the scoreboard after falling behind early. And the whistle is blown. We will continue to our right as it will be Cardinals possession. Cardinals taking their time getting set up here for what initially I thought was a throw-in, and looks like that will be the case as the official moves the thrower back, Mashansky toward midfield, and that's a weak throw-in as Pelinkovic, looking for Laval, has her pass knocked up in the air and over the far sideline. Here comes Laval, wasting no time, trying to create another chance. That is saved and corralled by Vasquez.
Yeah, that time Laval able to break through 2 York College defenders and get a nice strong shot on goal. Vasquez there to make the save, but Laval able to run right in between 2 Cardinal defenders on that last play.
Cardinals looking to create another chance as Duca sends it up toward Yagos and it deflects off of her foot and over the far sideline. Throwing up coming for York. They're certainly taking their time getting set up.
Yeah, so a player coming up, Joe, to take the throw-in from the far side of the field. Another nice hot September day, Joe. Very sunny, not much of a wind, no wind really blowing here at the minute. So a big test of endurance here for both teams in this hot September weather.
I have to say, Mike, it's one of the rare occasions where I feel like the weather has gotten warmer over the course of this day. We came out here earlier. There was a nice soft breeze early on, and it was a comfortable 70 degrees, but it seems like the temperature has risen since that point, I think in part due to the sun setting over our shoulders behind us and getting in beneath our tents where we call the game from midfield. So perhaps more favorable to the players, not so much for us, as the sun definitely beating down on us underneath the tents, with Deloya moving across midfield and looking for Yagos right inside the midfield circle. This is Yagos moving forward, given plenty of space, but is dispossessed. And the ball promptly turned over by the Cardinals as Pelinkovic sends it over to Churko. Churko to the outside for Bracic. Bracic looking for somewhere to go with it, and she shouldered off the ball easily. That was Diamond Jackson defensively for the Cardinals, quickly taking Bracic out of the play. Ball over the near sideline, throw in for the Cardinals, and I've already said it more than once, they've taken their good time setting up for each throw-in. Jackson to throw in. She's wearing that captain's armband for the Cardinals. 5'8" senior from Harlem, New York. As this is Deloya, a Dolphins senior, giving chase toward the near sideline, but it's cleared away. Throw in by DeLoya. Up toward Pelinkovic. She heads it to Bracic. Only Dolphin in the area there was Mitchell, but ball mishandled by Valer. And chipped up in the air by Yagos. Missing the header attempt was Uzman as Bracic fights for possession against Belmont. Bracic, soft tap to keep it in play and finds Churko. Churko to Pelinkovic, up to Bracic, and Jackson may have been caught napping there as Bracic runs in behind her, moving in slowly toward the box. And Bracic whiffed on that one before Jackson concedes the corner kick. And an ugly-looking sequence for both sides right there.
Yeah, you know, Joe, it wasn't much of a touch there, but York played the ball enough to knock it over the end line, and now it's going to result in a corner kick, so a good opportunity here for the Dolphins. First set piece, I'm sorry, Joe, of the afternoon.
It is Pelinkovic to take the corner, sent toward the middle of the box, onto the foot of Yagos and cleared away. A short distance by the Cardinals. Dolphins may still have a chance for an opportunity here, as trying to move it further away was Osborne for the Cardinals, and instead knocks it over the far sideline. Dolphins throw in. Aparicio throws in quickly to Mitchell. Ball back with Aparicio now. Churko calling for it with a hand up in the middle of the field. Instead, Aparicio crosses toward Laval, and barely getting a foot on it was Dorville before that one sent into orbit over the netting behind goal. And it will be a goal kick for the Cardinals.
Yeah, so just over 9 minutes into the game, Joe, a couple of early goals by both teams have us tied up at 1. But, you know, looking out at this Cardinal team, they're being coached by second-year coach Jose Castillo. Definite improvement, Joe, of the team. They appear a lot more organized, especially defensively. A couple of times where they ran on plays up and down from offense to defense. They came back with organization and a purpose. So, you know, it looks like an improved Cardinals team here this afternoon, and picking up that early goal gave them a bit of confidence to play well here at the CSI Soccer Complex.
We'll see if that confidence carries over through the remainder of this game. They've kept the Dolphins off of the scoreboard for the last 5 minutes, but haven't had a chance of their own, as that was Flores Barajas trying to make a move and get by Duca. She could not. Certainly a good start for the Cardinals to get this game underway with a goal scored less than a minute in, but the Dolphins really seem to have found their footing after the Cardinals landed that initial blow, and it has been all Dolphins since. Ball with Mignon along the far sideline. She finds Mitchell. The reigning CUNYAC Rookie of the Week sends it back up to Mignon. She crosses it toward the top of the box. It's headed away by Uzman. Knocked up in the air by Yagos. Pelinkovic waiting for it. Pelinkovic soft tap over toward Mitchell. She's swarmed by a pair of Cardinals as Mignon sends one into the distance.
Yeah, nice chance there once again for the Dolphins. They continue to probe and put pressure on Joe, and you know they've done a very nice job keeping the ball down on the Cardinal side of the field. Really, pretty much since the first goal was scored by the Cardinals, and continuing to look now to try to get their lead up to 2.
First substitution of the game, Ambrose for Bracic for the College of Staten Island. Has another low line drive. Goal kick. Laval is right there waiting for it. That's going to be another goal kick, as the Cardinals really need to find an answer on these goal kicks, either sending the ball somewhere else or getting more air on them, because if they're going to get back into this game, and right now they're only down by a goal, but that will change quickly if you give Samantha Laval too many opportunities with that much space.
Yeah, you know, they're playing with fire on those plays, and you know, it's a lot of teams struggle with goal kicks, and you know, you can understand why you want to play it up the middle and give yourself some opportunities, but you know, at some point, if you're not going to be able to get possession and prevent, you know, pretty fairly easy chances for the Dolphins, you're going to have to play the ball to the side a little bit more.
Well, you could bring someone up and tap the ball over to them if you trust your back line to protect it down around the goal, but they haven't opted for that yet. Another Cardinals throw in, this time on the far sideline. Knocked up in the air by the Dolphins, and Laval comes down with it. Laval towards Ambrose. Getting there first was Belmont, but she sends it over towards us and out of play.
Yeah, so Belmont playing the ball over the near sideline, so it'll be a throw in here for the Dolphins as the lawyer throws it in, and she continues to play well for the Dolphins.
That one sent up in the air, incoming, as that's into the top of our tent over the fence, and Sampson, our cameraman, sends it in. Multitasking over my shoulder. Joe Cusimano on camera for game 1, and Sampson Belogan on camera for game number 2 over my shoulder. Ricky Keeler, our engineer for game 1. Joe Masha, our engineer for game number 2. Of course, my broadcast partner, game 1, Dave Pizzuto, and Mike Babusky alongside me right now. This is Joe Foreman from the College of Staten Island. If you're just joining us, about 22 minutes into the first half, Dolphins lead the Cardinals 2-1 in the back half of our men's and women's soccer doubleheader.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a good first half, Joe, so far. It's been an entertaining half. It's been a competitive half. So been a good.
Well, the Cardinals need to start generating some more chances. Out strong with that opening shot, but haven't had much since. Dolphins, as we mentioned before, the 70-0 scoring margin over York, haven't had as many opportunities as perhaps they've been accustomed to against this Cardinals team. You have to wonder if that's starting to get to them mentally as well, especially having surrendered the first goal. If you missed it, not only the first goal of this game, but the first goal scored by the Cardinals against CSI in program history. Toward the corner, Mitchell has it. Mitchell fighting to keep possession. She does. Works it up to Pelinkovic, and that rolls over the far sideline for a throw-in.
Yeah, that was a nice play that time by Mitchell. Joe playing the ball deep in her own territory, not panicking, getting the ball up the far sidelines. It rolled out of bounds, but nice play that time.
Throw-in rolling out toward the center of the field. This is Churko. Up to Ambrose. Ambrose dispossessed for a moment by Jackson. Jackson muscles Ambrose off the ball, but she is surrounded by Dolphins. Ambrose has it once again. Deloya back to Ambrose and up to Churko. Churko turns quickly, beats Jackson, working along the near sideline. Here she comes, up to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic working against a pair of Cardinals as this one rolls toward the touchline and out of play.
Yeah, that time Pelinkovic let the ball get a little bit too far ahead of herself, so it'll be another goal kick. But, you know, the Dolphins have done a good job all afternoon turning York College free kicks.
Mike, but goal kicks have often become offensive opportunities for the Dolphins. So seeing that ball roll out of play, not necessarily the worst thing. As look at Laval jockeying for position up front against Dorville. And Laval wins that battle, and it's body back toward goal. Vasquez couldn't pick it up cleanly, but able to regather, and she will give it another go.
Well, you know, Joe, that's the third time in 25 minutes that Laval has done that, and you know, you're either going to have to kick the ball higher or come up with some other solution. But basically, Laval's standing behind the defender, waiting for the ball to be kicked, and just stepping in front of the defender, charging towards goal. So Cardinals have to figure out a way to defend that.
That one rolling toward the near sideline. Deloya able to keep it in. Here she comes. Churko has it off the tap from Pelinkovic. By Jackson toward the corner for Ambrose, but that ball too long.
Yeah, Ambrose looking to run, and by the time the ball was played to her a little and rolled out of bounds, so another free kick opportunity coming up here for the Cardinals.
See what Laval looks to do here. She's stationary right now, but I think that will change as Vasquez gets ready to kick this ball. Ambrose creeping up as well. And that one sent toward the far sideline, but Pelinkovic is there. Pelinkovic has it knocked away by Valaire. And it may have been off of Pelinkovic, and it was, so it will be a Cardinals throw-in. Throw-in, headed up in the air by Pelinkovic. Headed again by Laval, rolling in toward the box, and the Cardinals will let that one roll to their goalkeeper. Vasquez has been very busy, more so taking these goal kicks and the punt opportunities after corralling the ball than she has been attempting to make saves. And the punts have been far better than the goal kicks with the ball placed down on the turf. That was a good one. As Mignon heads it up in the air and over the far sideline, throwing once again for the Cardinals.
Yeah, strong punt that time by Vasquez.
I keep saying it time and time again, but the Cardinals are really taking their time on these throw-ins. And that one is heel kicked back into play and back over the far sideline as we await the thrower.
Yeah, you know, Joe, if you're the Cardinals, this is exactly the kind of game you want. Slow down the pace a little bit. They're only down by a single goal. And, you know, again, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame. The most important thing is to not allow goals. So the Cardinals doing a nice job here, you know, really over the last 13 minutes or so, keeping it a one-goal game and, you know, looking for that one mistake that could level up the score.
Well, the Dolphins looking to put some space between themselves and York College. They might be able to do it right here as Laval moves up the far sideline into the box. Laval's shot is saved as she goes down and is a bit slow to get up, but it looks like she will be able to do so. And Mike, Samantha Laval took a lot of hits in that last matchup here at home against the Concordia College Clippers. The game ended with a Dolphins corner after Laval went down in the box. Went down after a hard tackle, but the Dolphins bench certainly wanted the foul call, and I know some at the scorer's table wanted the foul call, Immediately upon viewing it, we thought there would have been a foul call, but on replay, it was incredibly close. Looked like it may have been a very good tackle, but given the distance of our camera, it's impossible to tell.
Well, I was actually standing right down
at
the end when it happened, and I thought it was a good call. I don't know that you really could get a penalty in that situation if it's not clear cut. And, again, you can't see perfectly, but I didn't have that much of a dispute with it.
Well, if you are okay with it, then so am I, because I know you're a tough critic on the officials, Mike. As the Dolphins have it once again. Some of your basketball officiating analysis has been classic. So we're looking forward to it later this year as Pelinkovic sends it up to Ambrose. Ambrose shouldered off the ball as it rolls toward touchline, and that's going to be a corner.
Yeah, soccer's always fun. We love doing basketball, Joe, and then, the spring sports as well. So, there's really nothing that's not really so much fun to come out and broadcast.
Well, I was talking more about the analysis of the officiating, but I certainly look forward to every sport. As that one is over the crossbar, out of play. Another goal kick upcoming, but...
Yeah, I really am not sure what you mean about the officiating.
You're right. I'm just kidding. What happens off mic stays off mic, and if it happens to occur with the microphones on, we call it a broadcast. We wait another goal kick for the Cardinals here as we were relaying an old story during our men's game before. I'm not sure if I think you were on the air, Mike, when Anthony Avina was ejected from the premises, and we believed he returned in the Danny the Dolphin outfit. We can assure our viewers he did not, as that is headed up in the air by the Cardinals, and Laval gets a foot on it. It's sent back towards midfield, and the Dolphins will have it, but we had a good laugh about that story as well.
Yeah, that's a CSI urban legend there.
Urban legend. Well, in the legend, he was in the Dolphin suit. In reality, he was not. That's always a good story to tell. As we'll have a lot of time for more stories as we await this Cardinals throw-in once again.
Joe, we have a chance to look ahead a little bit at the Dolphin schedule. And, after today's game, going on the road to play Queens College, I'm looking forward to seeing that game, Joe. And then FDU Florham and CCNY is usually a pretty good challenge. You got Montclair on the schedule and NYU, so plenty more good games on the schedule, and that's not to exclude the other three contests against Lehman, Brooklyn, and John Jay. So a lot of exciting soccer for the Dolphins upcoming this year. And we mentioned it before, Joe, with these teams really not going into tournaments. Each one of these games is really in its own way a playoff game.
Well, the Dolphins on their schedule only have one more non-CUNYAC opponent at home. That's NYU, and that's the last game of the season on October 26th. Hard to believe that the Dolphins won't be back until October 12th. But Dave and I spoke about it during the men's game as well, that these CUNYAC teams that are seeing the Dolphins depart the conference for the East Coast Conference and membership in NCAA Division II have to be coming into these games against CSI a little bit fired up as Mitchell moves in with some speed before turning it back, giving it up to Yagos. Yagos sends a nice ball in toward Laval, who got a foot on it, redirected it on goal, but that's saved.
Yeah, Joe, I don't think there's any question about it. And, the Dolphins will have to be on the alert for that in all sports throughout the year. But I don't think there's any question that these teams are going to come in with a little bit of an attitude, and, it's hard to blame them.
Oh, we saw some attitude in that men's game coming from the Medgar Evers bench, and fortunately the pushing and shoving that one on the field was broken up quickly, but Cougars had to be a bit frustrated with what the scoreboard said, and the bench certainly wasn't happy with the officiating at times. As the Dolphins will move forward here, Ambrose sends it up to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic with a lot of space, and she fires left-footed. It is saved, and Vasquez jumps on top of it.
Yeah, nice save that time by Vasquez as Pelinkovic came in with a lot of room, but, a nice job. Vasquez came out, really cut down the angle, able to make the save, and most importantly, Joe, prevent the rebound.
Those rebounds always dangerous, as DeLoya got a foot on it. Now Mitchell has it. Here comes Jordan Yagos up the far sideline. Yagos just wide as Vasquez had no chance to get that one. Dolphin substitution upcoming as well.
So Rita Henriquez will check into the game, and Paulina Ambrose, who was a substitute, will check out here for the last 10 minutes and 45 seconds or so, Joe. And, you know, you mentioned the intensity that today's game was played for. I'm just pulling out the men's soccer schedule here for a minute. I see Brooklyn College coming up. First York College, then Brooklyn, then Hunter, then Lehman. I think we could expect a lot of intensity in those games, Joe. And then you go down and you got Baruch, City College, and John Jay. These should be very interesting soccer games, Joe, for the men's team against the CUNYAC opponents.
Certainly should be, Mike. The next one, as you mentioned, against Brooklyn, that game is at home as Laval sends one toward goal. Off the post, Henriquez fires, and that is high.
You know, Joe, if you're the Cardinals, that's exactly the kind of thing that you need to stay in that game. You get the opportunity where it looks like the Dolphins are going to get that third goal. The first one goes off the post, the rebound over the top of the net. So the Cardinals, inside of 10 minutes remaining in this first half, have kept this a one-goal game.
Another goal kick upcoming. Dolphins will assuredly be pushing, trying to get beyond the back line of the Cardinals, waiting for it. And that one is high. And, well, I thought I was about to have a goal call there, Mike, but once again the ball sails high. Dolphins have had many chances in this game, but I need to take a look at the shots on goal tally, and it is indeed only 6 with 18 shot attempts.
Yeah, you know, that was another opportunity for Laval, and, you know, they want to take advantage of the fact that Vasquez is not that tall, but need to get the shots on net when you get an opportunity. And the Cardinals have used those misses by the Dolphins to keep this game 2-1.
Oh, perhaps more importantly, the Cardinals only have one shot in this game. It was on goal. It found the back of the net as Henriquez almost had another chance there. Instead, the pass for her was intercepted. She has it back. This is Churko. Ball toward Laval. Some space for Laval. She turns, looking to get a shot off. Instead, gives it up to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic has her shot blocked. Mignon waiting for it in the corner. Mignon sends the cross in, and down goes Laval, and she wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Play continues as Pelinkovic fires again. This time with the right foot, it's blocked. Laval charges in, and it is saved by Vasquez. She might have had help, as a Cardinal, might have been Diamond Jackson who got a body on it, but it's a save for Vasquez.
Yeah, that's exactly who it was, Joe. That was a great play by Jackson, and there was another great play by the Cardinals on that first shot where I believe it was number 14, Mary Mashansky, did a bicycle kick back toward the goal line to clear that ball away. Dolphins able to respond, and Jackson made that second save, and then the Dolphins knocked it wide. So good defense by the Cardinals, good pressure by the Dolphins. Remains 2-1.
That one missed on the header. As Vasquez almost didn't get there. The ball was loose. Mignon was giving chase, didn't get it. And it's about the same, Mike. Most of the time this season, bicycle kick attempts, whether it's a clearance or a shot, they've wound up on the blooper reel instead of the highlight reel. But that one is close to the highlight reel as we've gotten so far this year. Though it was a clearance attempt on defense, typically we've seen some bicycle kicks on offense.
Yeah, I think she might have actually been down, Joe, and just kind of lifted her legs up and kicked the ball back. It was a nice play.
Under 7 minutes to play in the first half from CSI Soccer Complex. Dolphins lead 2-1. This may be as close as we get to nighttime soccer with sunset approaching quickly. Cardinals once again taking their time as they wait to throw in. They're still looking for an equalizer. Sandor has it. Looking for Henriquez. That pass knocked down. Ball now in the midfield circle with the Cardinals. That one's up ahead, but Boudreau is ready for it. giving chase was Cuevas, but she couldn't get there.
Yeah, you know, that was a very dangerous play that time as the pass just a little bit ahead of Cuevas, and a nice play by Boudreau. Come out and make the play on the ball and not allow the rebound and keep it a 2-1 Dolphin lead.
Samantha Laval just took a head to the face. Shaken up for a moment, but she appears okay as we're now inside of 6 minutes. Deloya, soft tap over to Sandor. This is Askew. Askew up to Cherko. Cherko keeps it in. Has it knocked away by Belmont.
Clock continues to wind down here as we're in the 40th minute, and Dolphins with a 2-1 lead here, but Cardinals continue to do a nice job and play well and keep this game at 2-1.
That one sent in toward goal, but an easy play there for Vasquez.
Yeah, Diamond Jackson got hit with another ball, and she seems to be okay. And got to be impressed with the way that the Cardinals have come out here and played this afternoon. It's nice to see this Cardinal team very improved, appear to be well coached, and certainly playing a lot better against the Dolphins here this afternoon, Joe.
Well, they have 4:45 to get even in this first half, as we will have a York College substitution. Kristen Carabajo will check in. And coming off is Damara Usman. Well, it appeared that way anyway. She will get a sip of water along the near sideline. Instead, it will be a Benny Osborne coming off. And that one sent right into the support of our tent, right in front of us. As you hear it over your microphones, or our microphones, I should say, over your speakers. Throw in for the Dolphins. Knocked up in the air towards Sandor. Sandor gets tangled up in the midfield with Belmont, and it will be a free kick for the Dolphins. The official directing Cherko back a bit, looks like. And she'll roll it back a few feet. Gets the okay, and will take the free kick. That's a long free kick sent in toward goal, knocked down by Vasquez. Henriquez was waiting for it. May have had to charge more aggressively to get a shot, as Mignon sends one toward goal, and that is high. The Dolphins continue to send shots high and send shots wide. They now have 23 shot attempts in this first half, only 10 of them on goal, as we hit 3 minutes to go in half number one. Goal kick upcoming once again. Dolphins have been tracking these balls down off the foot of Vasquez, and it was Laval moving towards it there, unable to get there in time, but Pelinkovic chips it up in the air to Laval, who knocks it down, sends it forward to Mignon. Mignon running out of space, runs straight through a Cardinals defender, and it will be a goal kick, as that was Mashansky, excuse me, who collided with Mignon, and Mashansky will tie the shoelace of her goalkeeper, so we'll have to wait a moment for the goal kick. 2 minutes to play in the first half.
And, you know, the Cardinals continuing to play slowly in this game. And, you know, it's really exactly what you want to do if you're York. And they've been successful at it here in the first half. And they're going to try to see if they could escape down 2-1 going into the halftime.
That one headed by Laval up towards Henriquez. She was trying to jockey for position and get in front of that ball. Could not, as Cherko sends one into the box. A pair of whiffs there, set up Laval. Laval is knocked down once again, and that shot may have been partially blocked, as this is Jackson trying to take it out of the box. Instead turns it over to Henriquez. 1:25 to play in the first half. Sandor, looks like it might have been a shot attempt into the box. It's blocked, but it rolls back out to Churko. Churko over to Sandor. She's retreating toward midfield. It's knocked away, and this could be trouble, as falling on top of it was a Cardinal, and that may have been what bailed the Dolphins out there, Mike, is that was Belmont who fell on top of the ball. If she didn't, that might have turned into a breakaway.
Yeah, it was an opportunity. The Cardinals trying to counter quickly, but like you mentioned, Joe, nice play by the Dolphins, able to knock the ball away, slow things down. So the Cardinals are going to see if they could put the pressure on the Dolphins here for the last 40 seconds.
Cardinals have to move back to throw this one in. They do so with under 40 seconds to play in the first half now. Ball rolling toward the top of the box, and that was a nasty collision. That will draw a whistle immediately, and that did not look good, as the trainer will come on.
Yeah, that was a collision that time.
Well, that was a head-to-head collision right there. I'm trying to get a look at who that is who's down. Trainer Allison Ocasio and head coach Brittany Caceres out there tending to the fallen player. I still didn't get a look at who it was who went down. That play happened very quickly, and immediately you could tell it was not good.
I think it's Rebecca DeLoya, Joe.
It's 13 according to the end of our scores table. That's Elizabeth Aparicio. Head injury is nothing to be taken lightly.
So we'll wait and see.
Well, this could be a short while. Hopefully not, but certainly nothing to rush here, as it looks like Aparicio is now in a seated position, which is always good. Something else to be concerned with outside of concussions, too, is if you take a shot in the wrong spot, that may require stitches. Hopefully that's not the case here, but she's helped up by the trainer and will walk off, so that's good to see. And Dolphins hope they don't need her back in this game at any point. They hope to give themselves more than a one-goal cushion, but we'll see if she is cleared to come back in ultimately, or if that ends her day. It certainly looked like one that could end her day as she went down hard, but you never know, as there are 24 and a half seconds to play in this first half. Dolphins lead 2-1. Ball down in front of the Dolphins' goal when play resumes.
Lisbeth Aparicio, Joe, now in her fourth year as a CSI Dolphin, and, she's been a starter on this team since day one, and, she immediately came out, and her and Rebecca both joined the team together. And I remember when they just started their first couple of games, they went out on the road and played against Kane, and it was so impressive how those two freshmen played so early on in their careers, and now in their fourth year as Aparicio comes off the sideline, and hopefully she's okay for half number two.
Well, we will see what happens as this game moves forward. If the Dolphins are only up by a goal, you would have to think that if she is able, she would be back into the game. CSI looking to extend their lead here, as that was Henriquez working along the far sideline. Dolphins are awarded a corner, but time will run out on the Dolphins in this first half. However, they do lead 2-1 entering the halftime break. When we come back, the Cardinals will be looking to make it the first ever program victory over the College of Staten Island, while the Dolphins look to get even at 3-3 on the season. This is exclusive CSI Dolphins women's soccer coverage on CSI Sportsnet, exclusively at csidolphins.com.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
What do we do? Where do we go?
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly tamed them.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
And we're back from the CSI Soccer Complex. Dolphins leading the Cardinals by a score of 2-1. And Mike, a bit of an unexpected score at halftime. The Cardinals not only scored their first goal against the Dolphins in program history, but they got on the scoreboard first and led for a short while when this game got underway. Since then, it has been all Dolphins, but CSI could very well pay for not converting some more of their shot opportunities into goals.
Yeah, you know, you got to really give the Cardinals a lot of credit, Joe. They're coming out with a second-year head coach. We mentioned during the first half that 12 of their 16 plays, either freshmen or sophomores, and they've come out and played a good game. And, you know, you look at the scoreboard and you see the Dolphins have outshot the Cardinals 24-1. And, you know, they've really had a couple of opportunities that they could have buried in the back of the net. But the fact is that the Cardinals have come out here today. They're playing much better than we've seen them play in the past, and they've been rewarded trailing by a score of just 2-1 at halftime. Now it'll be up for the Dolphins to come out and see if they can get a couple of goals here, Joe, early in the second half.
Some quick first half stats. Of course, our score 2-1. Staten Island shots 24-1 in favor of the Dolphins. Shots on goal 10-1 in favor of the Dolphins. All 3 corner kicks belong to CSI. Fouls 3-1. The Cardinals with 3. CSI with 1. And the Cardinals really didn't have any chances outside of the first minute. It was Giselle Flores Barajas who connected off of the far post. It bounced into the back of the net to give her team the lead, but Cardinals have been kept off of the scoreboard since. Elizabeth Aparicio is back in the game, so fortunately for her and the Dolphins, that shot she took to the head, not one that will cost her the rest of this matchup, and presumably will not cost her any time. As Aparicio looks good handling the ball there, sends one into the box, and some early work for Vasquez, who couldn't pick it up cleanly, but is able to pull it in.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. Great to see Lisbeth back out on the field. And, you know, we should mention, Joe, Lisbeth coming off of a 5-assist game in the Dolphins' last contest against Medgar-Evers.
Aparicio second on the team in points. Right now, she has 8. I believe it's 6 assists and a goal for Lisbeth thus far. As this is Rebecca Deloya. Deloya moving forward. Beats one challenge, gives it up to Sandor, but that pass bit off target. That one knocked down by Aparicio. Trying to move it forward is Cuevas. Cuevas locks arms with Duca. And sending it back to her goalkeeper was Aparicio.
Yeah, you know, Joe, that's the second time in the last couple of minutes that the Cardinals tried to do a quick counter. And, you know, they were pretty close on both attempts. That's something the Dolphins need to keep an eye on. Here leading by just a goal in the second half.
Ball up the far sideline. This is Henriquez. Henriquez moving into the center of the field. Finds Laval. Laval looking to turn, and she locks arms with Dorville. This one back out just beyond the midfield circle. Now Churko. Churko sends one weakly toward goal. And Vasquez decided to play that with the foot.
Yeah, that time Churko putting that one on goal from long range. Not really much of a scoring opportunity, so it'll be a free kick coming up here for Vasquez.
Punt out towards the midfield circle, corralled by Duca. This is Deloya. Here comes Henriquez again. Up toward Pelinkovic. That ball too long and sent over the far sideline. We'll have a Dolphins substitution as it's an early exit for Gabrielle Churko. Nicole Mignon enters. Mignon has one of the 2 Dolphins goals in this game.
So Churko substituted for in the first couple of minutes here in the second half as Mignon will check in. Nicole picked up her first goal of the year earlier, a penalty kick that gave the Dolphins their 2-1 lead.
Mignon scored her first on the penalty kick. Laval scored her 5th on the soft tap in front. As Mashansky sends that one up into the air. Didn't get very far off of the throw. And Deloya gains possession for the Dolphins. Back to Askew. Askew rolls it ahead. This is Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic into the center of the field. Now in the box. Cardinals really not doing anything with it. Mitchell fighting for possession in between 2 Cardinals. And that was very nearly some trouble, Mike, as Whitney Valaire was trying to gain possession and could not.
Yeah, interesting change in strategy by head coach Brittany Caceres as Amber Mitchell moving all the way up on that last play, getting herself right in towards goal and creating an opportunity. But once again, the Cardinals able to make the play and keep the game 2-1.
Amber Mitchell always seems to be around the ball, always in pursuit, especially on the attack. We saw her take a turnover and turn it into a goal against Concordia, New York last week. As we will have a Cardinals throw-in upcoming, and they seem to be waiting for Mashansky on most occasions to throw the ball in, and depending on where she's positioned, that may take some time, as that throw-in Gets by 3 Dolphins and a Cardinal. That was Flores Barajas, the nearest Cardinal.
Yeah, and that time Duca taking no chances, Joe. A good play in a 2-1 game. Clear the ball over the sidelines and let the Cardinals throw it in. But Cardinals have themselves a weapon on the throw, and is Mashansky with the ability to throw the ball into the box.
This one will find the outer perimeter of the box, headed away by the Dolphins. Aparicio will try and keep it in play, and she sends it off of the fence.
Yeah, so the Cardinals putting enough pressure on the Dolphins, Joe, in their last 2 possessions to force the Dolphins to play the ball over the sidelines. Another throw-in.
Another throw-in towards the outside of the box, headed up in the air by a Dolphin. Boudreau tried to get there and could not, but fortunately for CSI, it is a goal kick. Boudreau's punt, a weak one. This is Flores Barajas trying to work through a bunch of Dolphins. She gets some help from Cuevas. Ball up in the air, that's Usman working against Sandor. 2 players fighting for possession. Coming away with it was Sandor, who finds Deloya, and Deloya is fouled.
Yeah, you know, there really haven't been a lot of fouls during this game. Not a lot of hard penalties, a couple of collisions, but this is going to draw a yellow card, Joe, the first yellow of the game issued, and it will be on the Cardinals. And I believe it's going to be on number 7, Taylor Belmont.
So Belmont picks up the yellow card. Free kick for the Dolphins to be taken by Pelinkovic. We're just over 6 minutes, or I should say just under 6 minutes into the second half. This is Laval working against 2 Cardinals. Pass over to Mitchell. Mitchell finds Sandor. Sandor has some space. She shoots, and that is saved by Vasquez.
Yeah, that was a nice-looking play by the Dolphins. A couple of quick passes inside the penalty area led to the Sandor shot, but once again, Vasquez up to the task as she makes another save.
Vasquez will look to punt this one, it appears. She does. As I said before, the punts have been far better than the kicks with the ball down on the turf. As Usman works it through a couple of Dolphins. That one intended for Flores Barajas. She tracks it down, being chased by Duca. And she is tripped up. No foul called, and I'm not sure how they missed that one. As Mitchell has her pass knocked down by Valaire. This is Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic has a lot of room, but she's being chased down from behind. Good ball up ahead toward Henriquez, but wisely coming off her line to get it was Vasquez.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Vasquez, and another nice defensive play by Diamond Jackson. She prevented a goal earlier in the game, making a save back on the goal line, and that time did enough to ride the Dolphin attacker off the ball and give Vasquez time to make the play.
Usman didn't want to take that one to the head, covered up, and the Dolphins gained possession as a result. This is Aparicio for Mitchell. Mitchell met by Mashansky, as Aparicio may have knocked it over the touchline. We'll see. Will this be a goal kick or a corner? Dolphins are retreating. It will be a goal kick.
Yeah, so an opportunity here for the Cardinals to play the ball up, as they've been able to continue to keep this a 1-goal game, Joe, really doing exactly what they want to do and looking for that one opportunity to counter quickly and try to cash in and level up the score, too.
That goal kick a bit longer than much of the previous goal kicks, and that one is sent over the near sideline. Throw-in upcoming for the Cardinals. They'll wait for Mashansky again. And the throw is taken toward midfield and bodied over the boundary a second time. That will move the Cardinals up a bit. 36:30 to play in the second half. Our score is still 2-1. Cardinals just a goal away from getting even, but they haven't shown many signs of life on the attack as they're looking for some space to operate here. And DeLoya takes down Belmont. No whistle. Play continues as Sandor has it. Sandor looking for Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic had some space. The ball just a bit long, and Vasquez once again wisely coming up and pulling that ball in.
Yeah, Dolphins trying to play the ball down and try to attack in numbers, but Vasquez able to come out and make the play just ahead of the charging attackers for CSI.
Punt beyond midfield, bodied down by Mignon. This is Sandor. Sandor up to Mitchell. Mitchell looking for some space, and defender went down as this is Aparicio. Aparicio toward the box for Pelinkovic. Her shot is blocked, and that will be a corner kick.
Yeah, that time Mitchell drew no fewer than 3 Cardinals towards her and was able to get the ball into the box, and it works out for a corner kick for the Dolphins. So good attacking play by the Dolphins, and they're rewarded with their 3rd corner kick of the afternoon.
Corner kick taken by Pelinkovic toward the far post, headed by Mitchell just high.
And actually that's their 4th corner, their first corner of the second half. And you're right, what an opportunity that time for Mitchell. And, you know, how many times this afternoon, Joe, have the Dolphins put the ball over the crossbar?
Quite a few, as Mitchell sent that one high. In most instances, it's been off the foot and not the head, with the ball traveling over the crossbar. Dolphins struggling to put shots on goal overall. They do have 12, but that's on 28 shot attempts, so they'd like to see that shot percentage improve. As Mitchell shouldered off the ball, it's cleared away by the Cardinals. Flores Barajas giving chase. Knocking it ahead was Belmont, but that one is too long, and Boudreau is there.
Yeah, so that Cardinals trying to counter quickly, but once again play the ball a little bit too far ahead. Boudreau there to make the play. A rare touch for her here in this game.
Sandor toward Pelinkovic and Henriquez. It's bodied away by the Cardinals, but that left Henriquez to chase it, and she goes down hard. No foul call. The officials certainly letting them play, as it will be a throw-in for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins continue to press the issue. Cardinals continuing to probe, looking for that counterattack.
That one chipped up in the air towards the center of the field. Mitchell once again right around the ball, takes it away. She's met by Mashansky. Mitchell continuing to fight for possession, and her shot is saved.
Yeah, she's been an offensive weapon here in the second half for the Dolphins, but Dolphins still looking for that big finishing touch here and try to get that big 3rd goal.
That one sent on a line short of midfield, and a bunch of players made contact with it before it wound up on the foot of Cuevas. Dolphins took it away quickly. This is DeLoya. DeLoya up to Henriquez. She finds Laval. Laval looking for Pelinkovic. It's intercepted. Cardinals looking to turn and move quickly on the counter. This is Dorville, and it's taken away by the Dolphins. Aparicio makes one challenger miss, but it's taken away by the Cardinals, who then inexplicably send it over the touchline to surrender a corner.
Yeah, that time Osborne tried to play the ball back, Joe, and a little bit of miscommunication, and it's going to end up being a corner kick for the Dolphins. And, you know, the way Pelinkovic has been serving up those corner kicks all afternoon, big opportunity here for CSI.
That last corner kick nearly afforded the Dolphins an opportunity to score on goal. It traveled high as Mignon missed the header. It's chipped up in the air by Laval and pulled in once again by Vasquez.
Yeah, so once again, the Dolphins buzzing around but not able to convert. Free kick coming up here for the Cardinals.
Ball sent out toward midfield. Knocked down by Flores Barajas and sent ahead. Askew giving chase. She's being pursued from behind by Cuevas. Flores Barajas has it now. Rare possession for the Cardinals in the attacking 3rd, but it comes to a quick end as Flores Barajas knocked it over the near sideline. Throw in for the Dolphins.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Duca to knock the ball away from Flores Barajas. And now the Dolphins will throw it in.
And well, we always hate to see that. as the soccer ball travels toward the broadcasting table, but thankfully far away from our mixer with our audio jack, as last year a baseball came into the booth and took it out. That was probably the low point of our season on CSI Sportsnet last year. As Aparicio finds Mitchell. Mitchell has some space to work with, but that's closed quickly. Pelinkovic sends it over to Henriquez, knocked back to Sandor. Sandor steps into a pass for Henriquez. It's bodied away by Jackson. DeLoya, center of the field for Sandor. Sandor moves in, finds Pelinkovic. Plenty of space for Pelinkovic, and her shot is in over the outstretched arm of Vasquez, and the Dolphins get a much-needed goal to put some space between themselves and the Cardinals. 3-1 our score.
Yeah, that was a great play that time by Masadi Pelinkovic, Joe, as she was able to really settle the ball down. She took her time. She knew she had plenty of time, and she was able to bend the ball under the crossbar, but over Vasquez into the back of the net for her third goal of the year. And that goal will give the Dolphins a 3-1 lead. And, you know, Dolphins were probing and pressing, and the Cardinals were able to fend them off. But, you know, they left Pelinkovic alone in the box. They gave her time, and she made no mistake about it, putting the ball into the back of the net. Big goal for the Dolphins, and, you know, something that will probably help open up the game for them a little bit, as they now lead by a score of 3-1 as they pick up that goal in the 60th minute. Sandor getting the assist, Joe, and, you know, the Dolphins have been serving the ball back to her really this whole second half, and she had a couple of nice plays where she served the ball into the box, but the Dolphins could never put that finishing touch on, but Pelinkovic able to do so, and on the 13th shot on goal for the Dolphins, they pick up their third goal of the game.
Well, that goal shows you how important shot placement is, as Pelinkovic had plenty of space to wind up, get behind that one, and get everything she had on that shot, but she didn't need it as that shot was placed perfectly under the crossbar over the outstretched arm of Vasquez. And there was just no chance for Vasquez in goal there. That was a perfect shot by Pelinkovic, but when you surrender that real estate right at the top of the box, all of that open space, makes it easy for the goal scorer to put a quality shot on net. As Vasquez makes another nice save there and is able to get on top of it just in time, as she had Pelinkovic bearing down on her.
Yeah, she had to use all of her size to grab that one and pounce on the rebound. Samantha Lavalier was hanging out at the far post looking to see if that ball got over Vasquez's head, but Vasquez able to make the play on the ball and give the Cardinals an opportunity, trailing now by 2, 3-1.
Here come the Dolphins once again. It's Laval fighting for it. Chipped up in the air. It's Pelinkovic again. Pelinkovic back to Mignon, excuse me, as she was directing Mignon to send it back to Sandor with the hand motion. Instead, it's Aparicio who winds up with it, working against two Cardinals, and Mashansky knocks the ball away with the slide tackle.
Yeah, so the Cardinals are going to give away another corner kick here, Joe. Is big goal for the Dolphins, 3-1. Such a big difference, Joe, than a 2-1 game. Dolphins don't have to worry about any single mistake leveling up the score. So Dolphins should be able to play with a bit of confidence here through the last 28 and a half minutes.
Pelinkovic has her corner knocked down, and clock will be stopped at 28:18. A Cardinal is down.
Yeah, she's having a little bit of a problem breathing here, Joe. So, of course, the trainer, Allison Ocasio, getting right out onto the scene and making sure that everything's okay. We'll get you the player when we can identify her.
She wasn't involved in the play as that corner kick took place. And we will see as they will head over to the bench, and I think they're coming onto the field with an inhaler here. Hopefully that will clear this situation up, or they ran off the bench with something, as player will be sent back to the bench. Dolphins gathered around midfield as the Cardinals will head back over towards their bench area. I just heard one of the Cardinals players relay the information that player down's having an asthma attack, so hopefully everything will be all right. It certainly appears as if it will be okay, as player down is sitting up and being attended to by the trainer and her head coach.
Yeah, so breaking the action, Joe, with 28 minutes and 18 seconds remaining here in the second half. The Dolphins leading by a score of 3-1. We still should have plenty of light available for the second half, but and that's going to be number 13, Joe Abini Osborne, who gets up and appears to be okay, and good news. She'll come off the field, and we'll get ready to get back underway here in a minute. With 28 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the game. And, you know, Joe, we mentioned earlier, we're looking a little bit ahead on the Dolphins schedule. 3 consecutive road games coming up. Queens College, FDU Forum, and CCNY before the Dolphins come back to the CSI soccer complex on October 12th to play against Lehman College. So, you know, a couple of really good games coming up for the Dolphins. A game against Queens College. Queens College, of course, now part of the CUNYAC Conference, a Division II school. And, you know, we mentioned earlier, Joe, a game that certainly the Dolphins are looking forward to playing and seeing where they stack up against another D2 opponent.
And not only a D2 opponent, but the only other CUNY school in NCAA Division II in Queens College. So a rivalry perhaps will begin to develop there, with the two teams meeting for the first time later this month. Well, make that 3 days from now. Not so much later this month, as it's more accurately later this week.
And I'm not sure what Giselle Flores Barajas is upset about, Joe, but she was very upset coming over to the bench, and whatever she was upset about continued out on the pitch, and the referee just gave her a yellow card. So,
as that one nearly found its way in, but the whistle was immediately blown. Flag, I believe, was up for offsides.
Yeah, no goal on the play, Joe.
Definitely no goal.
So Flores Barajas picks up a yellow card, and we have a shot on net that's going to be wiped out. And so a lot going on in the last few seconds, but it's going to end up being a goal kick coming up here for the Cardinals.
It's not often that my sunglasses come off during a broadcast, but I don't think I'm in need of those anymore, as most of the field now covered in shadow, as we have 28 minutes to go in this one, just shy of 28 minutes. So we will see if daylight becomes a factor. We certainly hope not, but with this being game 2 of a doubleheader and there having been a lot of stoppages in this game, it could be an issue should we see more stoppages the rest of the way, as that's sent towards Aparicio and knocked up in the air. Back toward midfield, Duca whiffs on it, but Askew is there. Askew retreating a bit, looking for somewhere to go with it. She finds Mignon. Mignon immediately to Aparicio, up to Mitchell. Mitchell is dispossessed, and giving chase is Flores Barajas, who just picked up the yellow. She's working against 2 Dolphins, and Aparicio went down for a moment, as that one is sent up toward the near sideline. Mashansky is there. Nearly got a foot on it, but Mignon wins it back. Sandor over to DeLoya, up to Henriquez. Henriquez has it knocked away by Jackson. DeLoya retreating and finds Sandor, immediately up to Henriquez and back toward the center of the field, where the Cardinals will send it into the midfield circle. Here come the Cardinals. This is Cuevas looking for somewhere to go with it. And there was an opportunity there to be found for the Cardinals along the far sideline, but Cuevas unable to play the ball through. Pelinkovic toward Mitchell, knocked away to Aparicio. Laval for Mitchell. Mitchell chasing that one wide of the box. And Valaire able to take it away for a moment, but knocks it over the near sideline, as we will have a pair of Dolphin substitutions. 28 Jordan Yagos and 8 Nermina Bracic, replacing Samantha Laval and Rita Henriquez.
So Laval checking out of the game for the Dolphins, and Henriquez, Joe, about midway through the second half. Interesting substitution there for the Dolphins.
Dolphins almost coming away with that one in the box. Pelinkovic got her left foot on it and might have put a dent in the scoreboard with that one, as that was not close. Oh, they'll forgive her for it after that last goal.
Men's team will be back in action, Joe, this Saturday afternoon against the same York College team out at Randall's Island beginning at 2 o'clock. Mentioned before, the women will travel out to Queens, so Dolphins will be road warriors this weekend, both the men and women going out onto the road.
The women won't be back here for a while as Mignon goes down. All game long, Tito Castillo has been pleading with his defense to keep the ball handler in front of them. It might be coming over your speakers here. I can definitely hear it in my headset a little bit. Very animated bench.
So an opportunity here for Aparicio to take this free kick opportunity. Another good scoring chance.
And the corner kick over the head of Mignon off the foot of Pelinkovic, out of play.
So the Dolphins able to create another good opportunity in the box off of the free kick. The shot goes wide, Joe, but you have to like the way the Dolphins have been able to serve the ball into the box all afternoon on corner kicks and on that last play on that free kick off the penalty.
Definitely have to like what the Dolphins have done off of their corner kicks. They've generated a lot of opportunities there, including the header by Mitchell that went high, some good balls toward the center of the box, have created chances. And that's just another one right there in a long line of successful Dolphin set pieces. And that's over the near sideline, out of play. Throwing up coming. It will be a Cardinals throw-in taken towards midfield, not a long throw-in toward Mashansky. Mitchell continuing to fight for possession, but ball will belong to the Cardinals. Correction, make that the Dolphins. As it will be Aparicio to throw in. That one's taken away by Sandor for a moment, but she's pursued, battling for possession there. With Belmont, both players playing physically as they fought for the ball. This is Pelinkovic, plenty of space again. Pelinkovic fires just high and wide as she made a bid for goal number 2 in this game.
Yeah, she had a good opportunity there. She wanted to go high toward the near post, got it up just a little bit too high over the crossbar, so a free kick coming up here for the Cardinals. Just over midway through this second half, Dolphins with 1 goal in this half to open up their lead to 3-1.
I said it before, goal kicks at times have been problematic, and this time they will bring in Flores Barajas to take it as that one's volleyed up in the air. Mitchell again, right around the ball, always pursuing the ball aggressively. Dolphins will maintain possession on the throw-in. Mitchell has space off the throw-in from Aparicio. She finds Mignon. Ball played right back to Mitchell, and Mitchell lost her footing over the ball. It's taken away in the box by the Cardinals, but Mitchell knocks the clearance attempt down and gains it right back. Good play there by Mitchell as Mignon sends one onto the foot of Yagos, and that one a bit of a knuckleball as it bounced up off the turf into the arms of Vasquez.
Yeah, that was a nice play that time by Mitchell, sticking to the play and ending up with an opportunity for the Dolphins on goal, but Vasquez able to come away with it.
Just under 21 minutes to play in this game. Dolphins lead is 2 goals, our score 3-1. Pelinkovic put the Dolphins ahead by 2, not very long ago with her third of the season, as she was looking for Brocic on that pass. Instead, it finds Sandor. Sandor back to Deloya. That's taken away by Cuevas, but she doesn't have much help as she looks to move across midfield, and Deloya gains possession right back for the Dolphins. Aparicio gave it back up to Leanne DeRosa, who came in, the last Dolphins substitution to enter the game, as Deloya finds Sandor, and Sandor gives it right back to Rebecca Deloya. Brocic up to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic surveying the field, looking for somewhere to go with it. She finds Brocic. Brocic stonewalled by Jackson, but turns around, finds some space, and Brocic unable to make anything happen there.
Yeah, nice defensive play that time by the Cardinals, but the Dolphins come away with the steal.
And off of the steal, the Dolphins send yet another shot high.
And that was Pelinkovic once again putting that one over the crossbar. So Dolphins continue to put pressure on, Joe. They now have 16 shots on goal, and they lead 3-1.
16 shots on goal, 3 goals up on the scoreboard to show for it. But the Cardinals have mustered absolutely nothing since the first minute of this game. Still trail by 2, and time is running out. Dolphins looking to make it a perfect 11-0 in their history against York College. Though York finally broke into the goal-scoring column for the first time in the matchup history between these two programs. Could very well be the last meeting, as I spoke about earlier. Dolphins looking to keep the winning streak alive, and are 18 minutes and 40 seconds away from doing just that, as Deloya once again moving forward with speed, looking for Brocic. That ball a bit too far in front of her, but Sandor knocks it down on the clearance attempt. This is Pelinkovic. Aparicio. Aparicio being given plenty of space to work with. She takes it down toward the outside of the box, crosses one off of Valaire, and this will be another Dolphins corner kick.
Yeah, so the Dolphins will get a corner kick on the play. Pretty close to a handball, but the Dolphins will take the corner. Corner kick number 7 for the Dolphins here this afternoon. I believe there was 4 in the first half, Joe, 3 in the second.
Ball bouncing around in front, and it's sent over goal by the Dolphins once again.
Yeah, big opportunity there for Nicole Mignon. She got all the way into the penalty area, had a good opportunity, but knocked that one over the crossbar, so another shot over the top. Dolphins have to be well over 40 shots here this afternoon.
The Seagulls making a pass over the CSI soccer complex, and that's usually a sign that dusk is coming, as that one is sent up onto the foot of Yagos, and it will roll toward the corner, and the Cardinals will let it roll out of play. Mitchell gets a forearm in the back, but is able to find Aparicio before receiving it back from Mignon. Mitchell up to Pelinkovic. Plenty of room for Pelinkovic again, making a bid for her second goal of the game, and she's got it as Mirsada Pelinkovic gives the Dolphins a 3-goal lead. Number 4 on the season for Pelinkovic, her second in this second half.
Yeah, you know, Joe, the Dolphins just kept probing and putting pressure on, and, you know, we're getting good opportunities and missing the net, but another opportunity for Pelinkovic. She doesn't miss this one. Picks up her second goal of the half, like you mentioned, and, you know, with a 3-goal lead, Joe, I think the Dolphins could safely say they're going to tuck this one away in the win column.
Sure looks like it, Mike, and Cardinals really haven't had any chances since the first half, as the clock is still running. Well, a discrepancy regarding the clock. The York bench wanted it to continue running. The official didn't feel the same way. So York's bench overruled. CSI lead now 4-1. As Yagos gives it up to Brocic and receives it right back down in the corner. Yagos works into the outside of the box as Pelinkovic tried to get there, but could not, and the Cardinals take it away. It's Mashansky trying to get by Deloya, who shields her off from the ball nicely, keeps it in play, and finds Caitlin Askew.
Yeah, Joe, and we should mention Amber Mitchell giving credit for the assist on that goal by Pelinkovic. And, you know, Mitchell has been a force here this entire second half. She really got the momentum going for the Dolphins early on the near side. Done a nice job attacking all day long and gets rewarded with an assist on that fourth goal of the afternoon for the Dolphins.
Teams fighting for possession. Here comes Mitchell, and that one rolled slowly toward goal off the outside frame.
So another free kick coming up here for the Cardinals, Joe, is the Dolphins now 17 minutes away from evening up their record at 3-3 on the year.
We're awaiting the goal kick once again to be taken by Giselle Flores Barajas. Askew works it over to DeRosa, back toward the near sideline for Aparicio as we approach 14 minutes to play. Mignon up to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic looking for Brocic. Brocic giving chase, trying to keep it in play. She does. She's met by a pair of Cardinals. And a hard tackle there, as that's Belmont on the hard tackle. She already received a yellow, but just a hard foul there, as there is no card issued. And it will be a free kick for the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Cardinals continue to play aggressively here with just over 13 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the second half. So it'll lead to a free kick opportunity here for the Dolphins, Joe. And Dolphins have been very dangerous on these set pieces all afternoon long.
Sandor takes the free kick. A good one in front and nearly found the head of Aparicio on the bounce. But the flag went up.
Yeah, you really have to like the way the Dolphins have handled their set pieces all afternoon long, Joe, either on the free kicks or for penalties, and there really haven't been that many, and the corner kicks. Dolphins doing a good job. They've really gotten a good opportunity on almost every one of those plays.
They have, Mike, and the Dolphins have kept the pressure on throughout this game. The biggest flaw in their attack so far has been the failure to put a lot of their shots on goal, but the chances have certainly been there. You have to like what you've seen from your team if you're head coach Brittany Caceres, especially after the Cardinals landed the first blow in this game with that goal in the opening minutes. But as I've said already several times, it's been all CSI since that point. Dolphins have converted on some more of their chances in the second half, already have 2 goals up there in half number 2, have 12 and a half minutes to add more, but it doesn't appear as if they'll need it. Leading 4-1, the Cardinals still have not registered a shot since the opening minute.
Yeah, you know, other than a couple of opportunities to break out on counterattacks, it's really been a nice job by the Dolphins, really keeping the ball in the Cardinal defensive zone. And here in the second half, Joe, we're probably looking at 95% play in the Cardinals' defensive end.
As Pelinkovic perhaps looking for goal number 3, maybe even her first assist of the game, but instead that ball knocked over the touchline. Another corner kick coming for the Dolphins.
Yeah, so they're up to 8 now.
And the corner kick toward the near post, misplayed by Vasquez, but Yagos unable to turn around and put it on goal. That's about as empty of a net as you could have asked for. Unfortunately, Yagos couldn't square up and get the shot off.
Yeah, you know, another big opportunity for the Dolphins is they continue to put the pressure on here with their 3-goal lead. Cardinals doing their best to maybe not score another one, but try to keep the Dolphins from scoring another goal here this afternoon.
Clock ticks down towards 11 minutes to play. That's chipped up in the air by Pelinkovic, headed by Usman. And Mignon comes away with it, but didn't get all that pass. Didn't need it, as Aparicio nearly got there in time, unable to get a foot on it. And it rolls over the near sideline. It will be a Dolphins throw-in.
And so the Dolphins continue to apply pressure and look to add on to their 3-goal lead.
This is Pelinkovic again. Sandor sends one toward the box, but no Dolphin in the area. Goal kick upcoming.
Yeah, so another opportunity here for the Cardinals, but Dolphins are doing a nice job really forcing the Cardinals to bring all 11 players across the midfield line to try to defend as they continue to play slowly here throughout the final 10 minutes. And
they haven't really had a fast pace going for the majority of this game. Every time there's been a goal kick, a throw-in, or anything like that, they have taken their time getting set up, really not playing with much urgency, perhaps developed that plan after they got ahead 1-0, but seem to have stuck with it all the way through, regardless of the score. And we haven't really seen any play in the York attacking zone in either half outside of that first minute, as the Dolphins have kept the pressure on throughout this entire game to the tune of 17 shots on goal, 4 goals scored already. Aparicio perhaps looking to add more, but ran out of room, and it will be another goal kick for the Cardinals.
yeah, so the Cardinals with an opportunity to get another goal kick here, and they'll play the ball in and play it down the field as the clock winds down and we head towards 9 minutes remaining in this game. And Cardinals will take a free kick, and you know they've moved back Giselle Flores Barajas to take these free kicks over the last few minutes here in the second half.
Dolphins have numbers here. Did for a moment anyway, as Aparicio looking to get rid of it, finds Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic moving forward, has space again, and sends one wide.
Yeah, that time Pelinkovic was looking to drill it into the near post. Vasquez had it pretty well covered, and the shot went wide.
They've been giving Pelinkovic a lot of space around the top of the box, really have been forcing the Dolphins to play the ball inside, and then once they do it, the player who's received the pass, if it's been outside the box, has had all the room they could ask for to get a shot off. It hasn't just been Pelinkovic, but right there, Pelinkovic the beneficiary of the space once again.
Yeah, she's been a force here in the second half, especially over the last 17 minutes or so when the Val was substituted for here in the second half. Pelinkovic with a goal and some other opportunities here for the Dolphins, in addition to serving up all those nice corner kicks that have led to several more opportunities for the Dolphins.
Bracic back to Sandor. Sent over to Deloya. Deloya looking for somewhere to go with it. Finds Sandor. Sandor gave chase for a moment, as the Cardinals trying to come away with it, but the Dolphins simply will not let that happen, as Deloya wins it and sends it back to Askew. Now up to Sandor. Sandor toward Bracic as a Cardinal is down. Bracic will shoot. It's off the post and does not go in, as Yagos nearly followed it up and put it in, but could not. Cardinal is still down. It's like holding her calf, and the whistle is finally blown.
What a beautiful play that time by Bracic, Joe. She was able to do everything but finish, and you know it looked like when she stepped to the outside that she would be able to put it in the net, but instead it bounced off the near post and out. So this game remains 4-1 as the clock continues to run here with 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. And now the whistle will blow with 6 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in this game, as have been able to catch the number yet of the Cardinal down on the field. So with 6 minutes and 37 seconds remaining, Joe will have a little bit of a break in the action.
Not the first time, Mike, as we've had quite a few stoppages in this one already. The sun continues to set over the CSI Soccer Complex, and that's something to keep in mind.
Well, with 6:37 to go, I think we should be good.
Should be. There's still a breakdown for some of us after the game, Mike.
Yeah, that is true, Joe. That is true. And just taking a look at the score from earlier this afternoon, Joe, in the first game that you and Dave covered on CSI Sportsnet, and a solid effort by the Dolphins as they're able to break the game open early. 7 goals in the first half, Joe, and they're able to pull away from Mega Evers early in the contest.
Well, the Dolphins jumped out ahead in that game early and never looked back, much like the Cardinals hoped to do in this game. Got out in front in the first minute, but were unable to capitalize on that lead as the Dolphins poured it on in that men's game and left the Cougars without any opportunity to get back in it. The Dolphins never relented in that first half, just kept piling it on and pulled away for the big victory in the early game. And the way this game started, we thought we might have a competitive back-and-forth affair here. Cardinals jumped out to the early lead. Dolphins tied it up quickly, got the second goal to go up 2-1, but then their attack stagnated a bit, not because of a lack of chances, but because they were failing to put shots on goal. And that allowed York to hang around, but they were within a goal for quite a while, unable to generate a second shot, still haven't added a second shot to the ledger, and any shooting opportunities here would be too little too late.
Yeah, Joe, but if you're the York Cardinals, you got to be very satisfied with this performance. And I think it's important, if you're a Cardinal, not to allow another goal to the Dolphins. You came out, you got that early lead that you mentioned. You went into halftime trailing by only a goal. And, yes, the stats are lopsided, and the Dolphins really have been able to dominate. But, for a York Cardinal team that has struggled for a long time, a lot of positives. They have some talented players out on the field, and they are really playing with a strong desire, Joe, even after falling behind, giving up that third and fourth goal, still playing very hard, still playing with a very limited bench, and, really giving the Dolphins a very strong contest here this afternoon.
Certainly much different than what we've seen between these two teams historically, as the Dolphins have typically won. It's very lopsided results. Cardinals able to keep this game within a goal for much of it, but CSI has broken it open in the second half and will look to add to their 3-goal lead right here as Henriquez is dispossessed. And the Cardinals looking to move up the near sideline with it, but Mignon takes it away. Aparicio working into the box, and it's knocked away, leading to another corner kick. It will be Ambrose for Bracic.
So Namina will come out of the game now, Joe, for the Dolphins. Still probably wondering how she didn't pick up a goal earlier in the last couple of minutes, as she had the whole net and ball just went off the post. So Bracic will check out with just over 5:15 remaining in the game.
Corner kick sent toward the far post. Once again over the outstretched arms of Vasquez, and I think Henriquez might have intentionally tried to chip that over the goalkeeper, but it's wide. Another goal kick upcoming.
Yeah, so a goal kick upcoming here, Joe, as we head now into the 86th minute of this contest. Dolphins leading 4-1.
Cardinals trying to set the ball to their liking here as we await the goal kick.
Dolphins looking to even up their record 3-3 on the year. Looking to even up their home record at 2-2 as they edge closer.
That one heading over towards us. Here it comes. And a nice save there by Mike. That one was headed straight for the audio jack, and Mike said absolutely not, as he emphatically swats that ball back down toward the turf. Here at the table, we have nothing against using your hands. As the Dolphins closing in on this victory with 4 minutes to play, it's Ambrose who loses it, and it's sent up the field as the Cardinals are continuing to receive some encouragement from their bench to head up the field, but There's no one there to retrieve that ball. Sandor up to Ambrose. Ambrose working along the far sideline, looking for Pelinkovic with that pass. And after initially having it intercepted, Pelinkovic able to reel it in. Headed by Yagos toward Henriquez. Henriquez has it knocked away. And it's sent over the near sideline. Throw in for the Dolphins with 3:20 to play.
You know, Joe, just looking a little bit ahead on the Cardinals schedule, they have a game coming up, a non-conference game against Mitchell College, and then a couple of conference matches against Brooklyn College and John Jay. And, you know, in their earlier conference match, they just lost by a score of 1-0 and played a good game against the Dolphins here. And, you know, I think they could go into these next 3 games, including 2 conference games, with a lot of optimism against a Brooklyn College and John Jay College team that, you know, they should be able to compete against pretty evenly.
Well, the Dolphins, as I mentioned during the pregame, have really dominated the CUNYAC Conference over the last few years I've been here. I've had tremendous success, of course, winning the CUNYAC Championship 4 straight years. And without the Dolphins in that postseason tournament, where last year they didn't really face a close matchup, without them in the tournament this year, it's wide open. It was a much closer finish a couple of years ago when we covered the CUNYAC Championship here. I don't recall who the opponent was, but I think the Dolphins won one of those games in overtime, or maybe it was the semifinals game. Either way, Dolphins played a couple of nail-biters down the stretch in that tournament, but that was not the case last year, as it was a big 6-2 victory in the CUNYAC Championship last season.
Hey, sorry, Joe, it'll be interesting to see how the conference plays out, especially heading in toward the playoffs. But, you know, like we said, if you're York College, as they nearly had an own goal on that play, but the ball goes up over the crossbar, so it'll be another corner kick upcoming here for the Dolphins. But, you know, it should be an interesting regular season conference schedule. And like I said, the way that York represented themselves here this afternoon, they had losing just 1-0 to Lehman, really playing well as the Dolphins put another one over the top off the corner kick. So, you know, some reason to be optimistic if you're a York Cardinal fan.
Well, I mentioned during the pregame as well some of those season highs from that last game against Lehman for the Cardinals. 8 shots, 6 on goal, and the 5 corner kicks. And that's not a plethora of opportunities, but it's certainly far more than they've gotten here today against the College of Staten Island. And they'll need a stat line more like that one in order to come away with a victory in some of these conference games as we hit 1 minute to play here at the CSI Soccer Complex.
You know, though, Joe, in the last two conference games, they've given up only 5 goals, and that's 2.5 goals a game, and that's good enough to make you competitive. So, you know, nice job here by the Cardinals. And, you know, it was a game that you really felt pretty good about if you're a Dolphin fan once they were able to get ahead. But on the other hand, if you're a York Cardinal fan, there's a lot to feel good about as well.
Certainly the start has to be a reason for optimism if you're a fan of the Cardinals or a player on this team. They came right out and hit the Dolphins square in the metaphorical jaws. CSI surrendered that quick goal, perhaps a bit shell-shocked for the moment, but we're able to turn it around from there and pile it on from that point forward, especially in the shot tally. But on the scoreboard, this will go down as a 4-1 CSI victory as we wind down to 10 seconds remaining in the game. And the College of Staten Island will indeed improve to 3-3 on the season. The York College Cardinals will drop to 0-6, and we will have Mirsada Pelinkovic joining us here on CSI Sportsnet in just a couple of minutes after the handshake. So,
yeah, so, you know, I thought it was a real good game this afternoon, Joe. The Cardinals came out, really acquitted themselves very well, played the Dolphins tough, and really made it an exciting game, Joe. It was a 1-goal game into the second half, and Dolphins able to get a couple of second-half goals and pull away and win by a score of 4-1. But good game here this afternoon, a well-played game by both teams. Both teams came out, played physically, played cleanly, and a nice win for the Dolphins as they even their record up at 3-3.
So for the Dolphins, this matchup against York, a preface to the big game against Queens College 3 days from now, followed by a matchup with FDU Florham. Unlike the men, the women don't play several conference games consecutively. It was the matchup against Medgar on Saturday, today's game against York, a pair of CUNYAC games back-to-back. Of course, the Dolphins' former conference, the CUNYAC. the current conference. But back-to-back CUNY games for the College of Staten Island, and moving forward, they will take on another CUNY game, not a CUNYAC conference member, but another CUNY school in Queens College, as you mentioned, on September 28th, 3 days from now, FDU Florham to follow, and then CCNY, as we will be joined by Mirsada Pelinkovic, who scored a pair in this game en route to a Dolphins 4-1 victory. And Mirsada, thanks for joining us. 2 goals in the game today as the College of Staten Island downs York College by a final score of 4-1. York came out early, scored a goal in the first couple of minutes. What was your response to that as a team when you saw the Cardinals get out in front early?
We collected ourselves, and then we just had to come out stronger, and we played our game, started passing more, we played collective, and then we just took over.
Well, the response certainly showed out there on the field. York gave you a lot of space around the top of the box. On both of your goals, you were able to get a lot of space to shoot it. Were you surprised by how much room they gave you?
I guess. I mean, we usually have that type of space, but we just don't take advantage of it. We've been practicing like crosses into the top of the box this entire week. So we took advantage, used it in this game, and we just we scored off of it.
Plenty of shot opportunities in the game. How did you and your teammates look to create chances? You had nearly 40 shots in the game.
Passing out wide and getting it across into the middle and then just taking shots. That's it.
Well, you found a lot of success in the middle. Congratulations on the win.
Thank
a great
you.
performance, as that is Mirsada Pelinkovic joining us here
Thank you.
on CSI Sportsnet, also star of one of our latest CSI Sportsnet's commercials as well. So thank you for that. Thanks for joining us as the Dolphins win it 4-1, due in large part to the performance of Mirsada Pelinkovic and Mike. Dolphins even their record at 3-3. What are some of your final takeaways from today's game?
You know, it was a good game. I thought the Cardinals came out and might have played a little bit better than the Dolphins were expecting here this afternoon. The Dolphins did a nice job of adjusting quickly. They were able to get the tying goal within about 3 minutes or so. Were able to go out ahead by a score of 2-1, Joe, and never really looked back. And, you know, from the time the Dolphins scored that second goal, although there were a couple of quick counter attempts by York that looked a little bit dangerous, you never really had the feeling that the Dolphins were in danger of losing the game. Dolphins pulled out ahead, got the second goal, got 2 second-half goals from Pelinkovic, and they are able to go on and win by a score of 4-1. Took care of their business, and now get to look forward to Saturday afternoon, another D2 opponent against Queens College.
Big matchup looming this weekend. The next time CSI Women's Soccer will be on Sportsnet will be October 12th. The men will return to Sportsnet a bit sooner than that, and I believe that will be a week from today on October 2nd. So the men back on the air in a week, October 2nd, and we'll see the women once again here on Sportsnet on October 12th. And until that matchup next week, this has been Joe Foreman. For Mike Babuski and all of us here at the College of Staten Island, we thank you for watching. Our final score, the College of Staten Island 4, York College 1. Be sure to join us for our next broadcast here next Wednesday if you can't make it to the CSI Soccer Complex, and enjoy the rest of your evening.